What's up, guys? Iceman here. And I wanted to talk about the fact that the Skullcrawlers are now done away with, as Kong has finally destroyed the Big One and has taken vengeance on his parents' deaths. And it was made clear during the film that the Skullcrawlers and Kong's relationship are what kept nature in balance on Skull Island. It was mentioned how Kong is essential to keep the Skullcrawlers down, and it was also made clear that Kong was not yet large enough to take on the big Skullcrawler all on his own, which is why he needed the military's help, as depicted in the final scene, in order to completely defeat the Big One. So now that the humans have interfered with the balance of nature on Skull Island by helping Kong defeat the big Skullcrawler, might Kong continue to grow at an alarming speed? This very well might be the perfect setup for the upcoming King Kong vs. Godzilla film, because in his current state, Kong is only about 100-some feet tall, and yet Godzilla 2014 was around 400 feet tall, so the match wouldn't be there when it comes to competition just yet, especially when we consider the fact that Godzilla has atomic breath. So therefore, Kong most certainly must put on some weight if he even wishes to become a contender against Godzilla. And I speculate that he might just keep growing now and get freaking huge. And it's all because the humans decided to intervene with nature. So with that being noted, it sets up a perfect plot for the Godzilla vs. Kong film, where in essence, the entire issue at hand is because the humans decided to screw with nature, as they did during the Skull Island film, and as they most likely will in the upcoming films. But how large might Kong actually have to grow in order to kick Godzilla's ass? I theorize that he will have to be even larger than Godzilla to compete. This is primarily because, as mentioned, Godzilla has some beyond nature capabilities, like his regenerative aspect and his atomic breath, as Kong is simply a strong-ass monkey. I will also note that in my opinion, it's most likely that in this Godzilla vs. Kong film, they will ultimately team together and face a greater opponent, perhaps King Ghidorah or Rodan. Who knows? But I just feel like it's most likely this is the way it's going to go, because ultimately these production companies need to appease both sides of the fandom, which are the Kong fans as well as the Godzilla fans. If you have one completely kick the other's ass, you're pretty much tossing those other fans to the side. So it might very well be the unfortunate truth that they're going to have to succumb to this sort of ideology. But what do you guys think? Might the balance in nature on Skull Island be thrown off because the Skullcrawlers are now defeated? Let me know in the comments of what you hope for in the upcoming Godzilla 2 film, King of Monsters, and the upcoming Godzilla vs. Kong film. And like this video, if you will, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the page if you haven't. I am Iceman. More videos to come.